Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
So, welcome back. I think in our last class we were discussing about this integrated mine closure. I hope you had an idea about the meaning of integrated mine closure, and here how different departments and they will have to integrate their activities for closing the mines while the unit operations for production is going on. So, I think on that concept we discussed about the whole mine closure is a future activity, but this is to be this will have to be done as an incremental preparation for that final closure, and that incremental preparations and achievement, how you will be doing, how intelligently, that will be depending on how you have exactly taken up your vision of closure. Now, once you take up that after the closure I will be relinquishing my land or the assets to the government in this particular form, for that you will have to work during your operations. So, that means if you want that this will be some residential complex will be coming after your mine is closed, then definitely you will not keep something on that site that the site will look very ugly, that is your aesthetic value of the site will be looked after, so that you will be doing something, maybe a park, maybe garden, and all that thing may be easy, so that if a residential complex come, the people there, they can go for their recreations, they can go for their other activities over there, and you must also take care of that. There will be the water and the air will be of good quality. So, that means while you are doing your mining operations, you are creating appropriate green belt, appropriate vegetations, you are taking care of that no leachate going to contaminate the water body, you are ensuring that the water body will be available with potable water supply system, you will be looking into that the communication of that area with the external world will be very good. So, that means when you have thought of the post mining land use, or with that you have integrated your present operations in such a way that after closure, when you will be going to achieve those objectives there, this operation is already supporting that through this. So, at that time to develop that post mining land use, you do not have much liability, your risks are reduced, and you have created your opportunity by doing your present activities towards that, and that is what integrated mine closure we have discussed in our previous class. Also, we were telling about this particular approach of mine closure, whether you are integration into life of mine planning. Now, what is this life of mine planning? We also hinted in the last class that your every day the whole life cycle of mining is actually getting played, because if you are having a deposit, say coal seam, you are excavating that coal, means there will not be any more coal available over there. That once you have taken a scoop you have created a void, in that void never a coal will come. So that means while you are excavating the overburden and exposing the coal, it is just giving a birth to the coal seam. And when you are taking to this coal seam and all that thing that has gone, now that is a void which is exactly closed, no more coal will be coming out of that. Then you progress in such a way that those where you have excavated, you are putting that other overburden and you are burying, and then you are keeping that land for the other purposes. So that means every day you are doing some closing operations also. So though the life of mine, we say that there were an exploration time, there were a construction time, there was a development time, there is an exploitation time, and there is a closing time and a relinquishing time. So in that way the life of mine goes. In that life of mine need to be planned now in such a way that you bring your knowledge that what will happen in future, and you bring your knowledge that what will be demanded in future. So that's why you will have to create a knowledge base. Now that knowledge base also, of course, you are having those external information as well as this knowledge base created from the information you are generating because of your mining. So first thing is bringing the external informations. You know that after your mine is closed, say maybe in that area 10 lakhs of people will be there within a 10 kilometer square of that, and who were doing somewhere other related to your closure site will be having, and there will be certain that economic activities will be going on in that area. So that means your closure will have to see that those 10 lakhs people, whether they will be totally cut just dealing from this, or they will be having certain dependency. Maybe 5 to 10,000 people will be living in that area for even next, after the mine is closed, forever they will be living, some people will be living over there. So that's why what is necessary, that post closure land use, that you will have to find out a closure vision and principle of the objectives will give you that. So that means the post closure land use, that alternatives knowledge will have to come from different expertise. Some sports department may tell, okay, after the closure this could be a very good place for outdoor stadium, we can stabilize this land and all that thing, because vast land is there, we will be making there a multi-purpose arena, there will be a hockey field, there will be a football field, there will be a cricket field in that whole overburden dump which is flattened, and put it over there. Or they may feel, no, this is not there, there is also a pond is that is your mine pit, it is going to be there, that rainwater can be kept, and that could be artificially, we can make a that is your pit lake can be made, and there we will be making a different type of aquaculture. That is post mining land use. There they may think, okay, that is we will be having here a pisciculture, we will be producing fish, or we may be producing makhana there, maybe it is there, that is we can do a aquatic plant cultivations. For makhana plant we can have, or we can have, say maybe even we will try to grow water hyacinth. That is water hyacinth, that will be giving the green mass which can be used for vermicomposting, and that will be taking, we are creating artificial manure, so that is organically we can make the barren overburden mass to be fertile for your some grass plantations, so that we will be producing grass there, where we will be bringing sheep and these goats. If sheep and goats come, their excreta will again improve this soil, that grass where you planted, Now they will be ready for taking some shrubs. We can think of there could be coffee or tea leaves can be done over there in that area. So that means your vision of that post closure land use, if it is so, if you think that there will be a multi-purpose organic farm will be coming at the time of your this closure vision, progressive reclamation should be doing, keeping that in mind. So that means you can start getting wherever you are having your passive the overburden, we want to make there, say we will be having a certain area, maybe you are having 1000 square meter or maybe 10,000 square meter area, we will be making a proper grass and all, we will be giving a fencing and we will be keeping goats and sheep to grow. We will see, keep monitoring about the goats, and you can, during your mining operation is going on, a shipyard, that is you are having some goats and sheep farm over there, and by that you are exactly enriching the soil and also producing some value, and then maybe some villagers can be adopted, that you did not spend any money on that, you tell the villagers that whatever the benefit comes out of this sheep, that is your benefit, you come and do your job, we are not giving you any pay or anything. If you can produce that more sheep and from there you take it, do your business. So that closer vision and principles will have to be integrated with your mining operations, your what is called concurrent reclamations. When you are doing, you are looking into the post closure land use. Then identifying and assessing the risk and opportunities. It may be there, you should think, say if you are thinking of grass and sheep and all that thing, that area will have to be having some water. Now maybe you are giving the water by bringing in a tanker and all that thing, but whether that water will be available once you go. So that means if somebody wants that, okay, after the closure they will be doing this business, but you are giving so much support, at this time it will be looking, because you are making a your propaganda or in your mind will be giving a good output, they will be taking good awards and benefits by their investing some money for doing a temporary solution. But after the mine is closed, there will not be water, there will not be manure, there will not be, and no sheep will, no grass will be there. So that's why it will be a risky business there. Maybe you should not think of that type of operations over there. So that is why post mining land use, whatever you have thought of alternative, identify their risks, and then you get that your what closure activities will be there. Now this planned one, your whatever you have planned, at present your mine is your experimental laboratory. In that you do those closure activities, you do it over there, whether you can convert, that is some of your, maybe in the overburden you are having there's so many of sandstones and all which can give good silica sand. So you manufacture that sand, it will not require much water and things like that, but that sand, it is maybe there are so many million meter cube of such sandstones that after the mine closure, maybe another your say 1 year or 2 year, you can take those heaps and make as a plain land over there, which can be converted to agricultural field afterwards. So all that overburden which have come over there, it whatever the sand portions, it will go, and that which is non-sellable other debris material you put into the void created by the open pit, and in that it will be filled, so that if water gets accumulated, the depth of the water should not be very deep. If a very deep water, then below lower level there will not be this sun rays will not be going, there will be more pollutants will be getting accumulated. So you don't want to have a very deep this pit lake. So you can think of that means if you want to do some work after closure, at present you do the experiment as a laboratory and integrate with your present concurrent reclamations and concurrent environmental activities. Now you are doing these things, at least for the closure you have prepared, the things will be closed like that. At that time, how the closed mine area will be governed, who will be there? The custodian is the land will be given definitely that government is taking or the Gram Panchayat is taking, and the Gram Panchayat will be governing it over there, or the mine will be remaining there for some years. If for some years, how many years? And at that time you will have to create what will be the success criteria, that is whether these closure activities will be successful or not. And for that, that progressive closure and the social transitions need to be monitored. And with that, when you have to govern, you will have to finance. So you will have to know assess the closure cost, and that from that exactly whatever you have finalized your post closure land use plan, that closure execution plan will have to be matched with that. And that matched one, once you have established, you now keep on monitoring and maintain that management, so that that area is now stable physically, chemically, socially, and certain economic activities are going on over there, you relinquish it. And that relinquishment, as I told in your last class, could be through a company or could be through an agent, and there could be new business model coming in near future. So what is that? You understood now, integrated mine closure is this whole cycle of operation with different step, and at each step of the mine life there should be understanding and preparedness for temporary or sudden mine closure that may affect the and redefine effect for, or it will redefine your closure plan. So this is what is normally you have planned, but you should be ready for any exigencies. If something unexpected happen, natural disaster, maybe that political turmoil, social turmoil, we do not know, but what come may, we should be focused that, because society will exist, people will exist, their people demands will exist, and then some of the natural resources in either in a better form or in a worse form will exist. And from there we will have to create this business, and then we will have to do the plan, and that is why the job of a mine closure planner. Then integration of these closure activities, what we have said so far, we will have to integrate the closure activities into the mine business plan. That was the main concept behind integrated mine closure. So you may have a mine with a long mining life or a short mining life or very long mining life, medium mining life. With that you will have to have a business plan. Even if short, there will be a closure differently, a long mine there will be closure in a differently. But while you are doing this closure planning or your integrated closure planning, you must look into the what is the environmental scenario, what are the social scenario, and what are the financial and economic scenario. And for that you will have to list out that activities, and you will have to find out what are the risk and opportunities, and what type of informations will be necessary so that a business plan can be made. Once you do that, then things will be okay. Now if all go well and you have done this integrated mine closure, what could be your benefit? Now this closure decisions will be better supported by stakeholders, because through the integrated mine closure you have taken different stakeholders into confidence. You have engaged them and involved them in every steps. So you are making them the owner of your mine's activities. You have not done anything by yourself alone. So if any failure is there, liability is also shared by all stakeholders. So that's why the stakeholders management for mine closure need to be done very intelligently, because it will be at the time when the mine operator is doing the mine definitely, but it is not he alone, but many other people are also getting benefit of it. So you will have to engage the stakeholders for the closure also. Assets are designed and operated with closure as a key input variable. That means while you are using say buildings there, your machines there, your water body there, your deposit there, you always think that mine closure, when it will happen, what will happen to this, and that will lead to your new ideas to how to govern it. Better understanding of closure risk and knowledge gaps throughout the business. If you do a integrated mine closure, then you will be understanding in a much better way what are the closure risks, and then to mitigate those risks, or other way to transform these risks to an opportunity, what is the knowledge gap. That once you can identify the knowledge gap, you can find out the solutions. So, that is why this is a big advantage of practicing integrated mine closure. Then value generated by realizing opportunities throughout the operational phase. So, as I said, during the mine operations, if you are maintaining that goat farm on your overburden dump, you are creating certain opportunity, and that is your while you are operating, you are exactly some closure things are happening, but of course that will have to be done judiciously. If your one goat goes out of that, go to the mine area somehow, and then if it is hit by a fly rock from the blast, then a goat is dying in a mine, maybe bringing a new liabilities and new problem for the mine manager from the animal lover. They say those animal right protection unit will be coming, that you are doing exactly because of your experiment and all that thing, these goats are suffering, they are having a disease like this because of your mine, and you are doing this experiment. So, all those pros and cons will have to be considered, but the benefit is there. If you are doing these experimentations during your operational phase by bringing mine closure as an integrated operations, you are benefiting. Liabilities progressively reduced or prevented where practicable because of this integrated mine closure activities. Cost reduced through operational synergies, because for the closure purposes your maintenance department is also contributing, your procurement department also doing operational, your CSR and environmental management group is also doing. While everybody is doing things on an integrated goal, definitely a synergy will be achieved. Minimize the risk of regulatory non-compliance, because whatever the statutory laws and regulations are there, they get automatically complied when you do work with an integrated mine closure. Adequate financial provisioning for closure is allocated, because when you have started working for this, definitely you have done the required budgetary plan, and the budget has been put it over there, and then the financial provisioning, because whatever you are achieving, it will be contributing to the closure. So, that means your integrated closure is going on over there, and when you are you can, if this operations and all that thing is contributing to your final closure, your collecting the escrow fund claiming is easier. Better understanding of closure liabilities to inform change of ownership decisions. So, while you are practicing this integration of mine closure activities in your operations, then you will understand in the better way that what you will have to do after the mining is really to be declared closure, and then at that time whether you want to take a stake of that or you want to get rid of it, you can decide in a better way. Improve accuracy and closure cost estimates. So, this in a closure cost, in the last class I said that these are all the multivariable functions, that how the model will be developed for estimating the closure costs you will have to do, and that is exactly we have given few equations in our previous class, that earlier classes, that you will have to identify what are the factors, and on that basis you take a model, go to a mines to find out the data and test it and put it, then you will be knowing how to assess the cost required for your mine closure. Because many a time that main mine closure plan, when they have given an escrow fund, as I remember that 6 lakhs rupees for per hectare for open cast mines, and then I think 3 lakh for underground mine. What is the model, by using which model that cost estimation is done? You can verify it. So, I will request some of you should take up, it is a learning activities to develop a methodology for predicting the closure cost of a mine operating, which be having, say, you can take a case study for a mine which is having 10 years of life or 5 years of life, or some of you can take up, say, in Tata Steel, there are already 3 underground coal mine in Jaria coalfield has closed. Maybe this Sijua or Valatan mine, which is working for the underground coking coal mines of Tata Steel, will be closing in next 2 years. Your in Bharat Coking Coal Limited, their number of mines have already closed. So, you can find out now, because of this closure, how much liability and maintaining these closed mines for near 5-10 years, how much will be their costs. This is a good case studies. If you are wherever institutions you belong to, you can write to the company that I want to do an estimation of the post closure liability because of your this closed mines. Southeast, that Western Coalfield closed about 21 underground coal mines. You can ask, you can write to their management that I want to assess the liabilities of the mining company in the next 5 years because of this closed mines, or how these mines will be relinquished, what is the policy, how the methodology. You may ask, you may visit their mines, and you can request them to give you what is the relinquish policy of the Western Coalfield for those closed mines. And whether, I do not know whether there is a relinquishment policy is stipulated in our mine closure guideline. You can verify it, and if it is there, fine, you go on evaluating and assessing that whether this relinquishment policy is good for the changing economy. When we are going to a $3 billion or $5 billion economy in India, at that time, how this will be looked into. So, these are the activities you will have to do. Then improve accuracy of the closure cost estimate. For that, you will have to do as a mini project you can take up, or a total detailed project work you can take up. There are a lot of works exactly in this line need to be done yet. Recognize an adequate plan for post mining land use opportunities. That is, so far there are a lot of planning has been made, and lot of investment also has been made for using the post mining land. At least and the eastern coalfield in Chora mines, I think in that Kenda colliery, and also in west your Sonpur Bazari overburden dam, we tried to develop a horticultural garden, a beautiful garden came up also as a demonstrations, but it did not continue because that spirit of converting it did not come over there. But there are many, only with a project some things have been done, but integrating it with the society, getting the society to involve in getting those things done, that part is still not there. Someone need to carry out. IIT Kharagpur has demonstrated a methodology how that society can be integrated for developing horticultural garden in the overburden dumps, and how they can be coordinated, but there are different societal issue because of which this systems has not come up, but there are more experimentation is required, and I hope you will be doing. So, revisit the mine closure plan of your mine is what I have already told you, that it is a post training activities. After you get yourself trained for this, you will have to do these activities in future. So, you release the objective of approved mine closure plan. When you get your one of the mine, you go collect their mine closure plan which has been, and what are the exactly objectives, how they have stipulated. You now with the academic background to study mine closure plan, you can identify and you can raise questions over there. So, how the you can also find out how the mine closure plan has evaluated the impacts of local economies, potential improvement, extents of loss of crucial services such as health and education, predicted the that is your the out migrations, that is how the people are migrating from there, and then impacts on the labor market, employment, real estate and land prices. So many variables, so many factors are there. If you are interested, and this mine closure planning is not only a laboratory based or only by sitting at a colleges will not do. You will have to go to the site, get a mine, do a field study and then do these activities that identify what are the planned procedures suggested in the mine closure plan of a particular mine, and then how they are communicated to the stakeholders. There you can create some of the new tools, that is it could be a your video, it could be a interactive that is something animation, and by which you can educate the community regarding that how they should prepare for mine closure. So, this you should find out, you should go and ask in the mine that what are the different documents they put for mine closure initiative. So, these are the things you will have to do, and once you do that, there would be a lot of benefit. The integrated mine closure are there. You can go on to the mines and tell them, if they do not have the integrated mine closure, that with the practice of this they can consistent and transparent engagement of the stakeholders is possible. You should tell them and communicate to the mining people, practicing engineer, you should tell that how community participation in planning and implementation actions can underpin successful closure. That you will have to find out and you do your research, and by that you go and implement to the mining people. You tell that your stakeholders can support your closure if you make this new innovative plan. And there, when you will be developing your own startup or you will be developing your own business model, you can tell the mines that how better management of closure throughout their mine life cycle can be brought by engaging your expertise. You develop your basic research for accurate closure cost estimate, and you go and then tell to the mining company, you just let me examine or evaluate that whatever the cost you have estimated is correct or not, and for that you develop your model, that mathematical model, numerical simulations, and through that you go and tell them. Early identification of the risk and mitigation strategies, you can give it to them. Then progressive reduction of the liabilities, that is, if you can tell them that, you see, if you are not following this integrated mine closure, you will be ending up with such type of liabilities, but there is a solution. This from our research it shows you can go and then you can reduce your liabilities in sequence. Then working towards an agreed upon vision for the post closure period. So, you can interact with the mine to prepare that how that vision should go, and a better social transition of the for affected stakeholders as the mine moves from operations to closure. This transition management, on that also you can develop your own expertise. But for this, to tell the opportunities for this lasting benefit, that sustainability of this benefit, you will have to now develop your own strength on that issues which I have said. You please note it down, write as your how to do the cost estimations, how to carry out the risk analysis. These are to be taken by mini project and learning activities by you. Only by listening and reading will not help. You will have to take up those learning activities that I have mentioned in different classes. Then you will be able to assist the mining industry for developing effective integrated mine closure. So, mine closure is to be practiced as an integrated actions, no alternative to it. Integration of activities of different departments at different phase needs to be sequentially integrated for effective mine closure. You will have to do it, and there are a lot of references are there. I ask you to get these things from the net. Different guidelines are there. Integrated mine closure good practice guide. This is ICMM's very good paper. Mine closure planning, rehabilitation and monitoring. This is a green cap fact sheet. This is also a very good paper. You can read it over there. And also there were a number of mine reclamations and book materials are many, but what is important for you is to take activity, that is your learning activity. Take a small activity, do it over there as a simple mini projects, and in that as many aspects as you can keep in a, and see that you know it. Otherwise it will be running and reading a lot of things, but ultimately you are not developing your expertise to solve the problem of the industry. Thank you very much.